Without a doubt, this is one of the most happiest moments in my life. It's right up there with my discovery of Boost, my discovery of the series, the time when Momoha debuted, and the time when they announced that this manga rather is getting an anime adaptation. Overall, I'm just super happy, excited, and I guess recovering. I'm still within the hype train, fam. From when this anime, the first episode of this anime finally was released. And I just have so much going on with my feelings on how happy I am, and the Hyakuno community as well. We're all just so really happy, that this day has finally come. And I'm really happy to say that with the first episode, I really, 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 really love it so much, right? You can go check it out at News Asia. And yes, I'm really also glad that this anime is also being broadcasted in News Asia, a YouTube platform for people to see, but of course with restrictions. It's only available to some countries, unless if you have a VPN you can go check it out. So there's that. But either way, I'm really happy with just the delivery of this anime and everything about it, right? Which is why, and I'm just starting off this, I guess, this series, so to speak, of me reviewing each episodes, right? I won't really get in too much of the spoilers, or of course I'm gonna spoil a bit of things here and there, right? So just a heads up, I wanna mention as well that yes, I'm going to be citing some things that may or may not happen in the future parts of this manga, right? But my overall I just really wanted to give my impressions on how how the anime was adapted, right, from the original source material of the manga, right? So let's just get right into it, fam. I'm still really happy, man. This feeling of happiness is it won't go away anytime soon. I really can't wait for more. But yeah, although I know what's gonna happen next, but everything about Hyakuno never ceases to amaze me and never fails to surprise me. I really love it. So let's start off right with the infamous moment when Rentaro confesses to Asakawa, right? The 100th girl who rejected Rentaro. And yes, of course, we get to see that moment, that build up, right? Rentaro confesses and he unfortunately gets rejected. And I really love as well the whole delivery of that rejection, right? It was portrayed in this sort of quick-paced manner, right? In a comedic style, that in that sort of comedic aspect to it really connects well to Rentaro's retort of a response. There's again, as I've said, there's that whole comedic aspect to it, right? And I really love the way that the voice actress of Asakawa also really handled the rejection and of course the response of Rentaro. Wataru Kato, the voice actor of Rentaro, never ceases to amaze me with his acting of Rentaro. He's a perfect choice for Rentaro. I really love it. Let's move on to his dialogue, right? Dialogue with Friend A, and I really love that he's still called Friend A in this, right? And I also really love how Friend A's being animated, right? His design is amazing, and his voice as well is, in one way or another, I wouldn't expect that his voice would sound like that, but I'm really glad it is. It has that sort of femboyish vibe to it, right? That's what it's called, right? But I really love it. I really love the approach. In my opinion, I think it works well. In one way, I really can see that this is definitely his voice. The casting department, they're amazing with this, right? I also loved how they also included the moment when, in the conversation, right? They included the moment when Rentaro was first rejected by Atan. Atan, a girl named Atan, right? Whose name starts with the letter A. She's the very first girl who Rentaro confessed to when he was just a little baby, essentially, baby, And I really find that aspect to it amazing, because that sort of part of the story is found in the bonus chapter of the first volume. So I'm really glad that they added it, and the whole that mini skit, would you call it, or that interaction between Baby Ren and Atan, right? I really I really love that how they really added it. It's also amazing how the voice of Atan when she says that no, I can. It's beautiful. Really, it's so beautiful how they were able to really add all of these elements from the manga as well, you know. But aside from elements, I also want to get back to that later on, right? Overall, it was a nice interaction, right? And then we have the scene where Rentaro prays to the shrine, you know, fourth wall breaks here and there, and also references to the to other manga works is amazing as ever. Their delivery with all of that is amazing. They never steered away from the manga's, you know, delivery of the comedic aspects, especially when it in terms of fourth wall breaks and references to other manga works. And in fact, on that part, I love how this anime, the anime really also loves to expand more. What I mean by that is that when it's converted to this sort of anime medium, right, there are a lot of things that may or may be added, right, or changed or shifted a little bit, right, to accommodate more to the storytelling of the anime, right? But story-wise, right, the direction that it's going is really good, and I really love its pacing. And further on, there's also this scene, right, where the anime broke the fourth wall again, right? But this time there's this bit of new twist or aspect to it, right, where there's a whole skip button gag, right? And I love it because of how it was able to, you know, how it was able to shield the sort of giveaway to the god's reason as to why Rentaro had 100 rejections, right, or as to why he was rejected, right? If you read the first volume of the manga, the god had this sort of thought bubble up, right, that sort of also gave an idea as to why he was rejected. But in this anime, the way that they've done it is that they sort of skipped that, right? And I really love it as well because, you know, the god was able to follow up on that, right, with a comedic retort addressing on how, you know, why hey, some of my parts got cut off, right? So yeah, I really love how they're able to adapt, really, not like, yes, adapt in from manga to anime, but also adapt in the sense of the story, right? It's incredibly beautiful. Oh my gosh, like I can't stop giving it praise. You know? Moving on, let's go to Rentaro entering high school, right? He enters the high school, and I also really love how they're able to add in the cameos of future girlfriends. That moment, that scene was amazing. I love it, you know. Furthermore, let's move on to the electrified shock moment, the moment when Rentaro first met Hakari and Karene. And seeing the animation of it, like a full-on animation, right? Not just the shock, electrified shock, black and white or dark background with white electrified zings going on, right? But seeing it, you know, that moment being animated, it is super cool and super beautiful, fam. I really love it. You know, and thus far with the whole interaction between Rentaro, Hakari, and Karene, I see no problems with it whatsoever. It really adapted the conversation really well, and I really love it, you know. And going back to the elements, right, what I said about added elements here and there, I really love how they're able to animate the imagery of the manga, right? Because if you notice in the manga, they would have some, you know, this sort of text bubbles or text boxes, right, where Rentaro would, for instance, Rentaro mentioned something about being the luckiest telephone pole in the universe and something like that. In the manga, that wasn't really drawn, right? It was just a sort of metaphor, so to speak, right? But in the anime, I really love how they were able to animate that metaphor and bring it to a really nice, you know, perspective, nice visual. I really love it, you know. And soundtracks wise, fam, the soundtracks of the characters, right, of Hakari and Karene, that was also played in their promotional videos, right, they were also used in the anime adaptation, and I super love it. The performances, fam, of the voice actors are amazing as usual. They never miss, you know. And hearing them in the promotional materials, you know, they're great. But actually seeing them in action in the anime, I love them even more, right? You can really tell how they fit their roles so perfectly, and you can also tell too that they're really having fun with the characters, and they're having fun, I suppose, with this. Yeah, I know, right? With this anime adaptation, I really love it. I do. The confessions, right? The confessions from Hakari and Karene. That moment when they confessed to Rentaro, it's as magical indeed, like how the manga portrayed it, right? The visuals, the soundtrack, the musical score, the way that the animation delivers the line, and seeing it animated is at a whole other level indeed. Commercial break joke gag, you know, lands perfectly as well, considering that, of course, yeah, an anime, right? It's perfect. The timing is perfect, right? Conversation, right? Moving on, let's go on with the conversation, right, with Rentaro and the god, the shrine god, about the whole conflict, right? The whole problem, the whole situation about what happens, right? I really, aside from that, right, the conversation was adapted well, but I really love how they were able to establish a clear vision as to what really happened, right? How did the god add the extra 2 zeros, right, to Rentaro's soulmate number, right, soulmate count. I really love this part. They animated a scene from the bonus illustration, I believe, from the first volume in the first chapter, right? They also added this part where they gave us this this extra scene where the god was writing down a the number of soulmates, right, of Rentaro, and when he went to Rentaro's soulmate sheet paper, right, because it's like this sort of document paper, right, of a person, right, and in Rentaro's he accidentally wrote 100 instead of a 1 because he mistook it for the test paper of which he's trying to give a score of 100 to this scene in Laputa Castle in the Sky, right? Because remember, the reason why the god accidentally was distracted rather was because he was watching that scene from Castle in the Sky, and he was so happy and excited about it that he gave that scene 100, but he didn't realize that when he wrote 100, he wrote it on Rentaro's paper for his soulmate number, and good point as well on Rentaro. On saying like if everyone has decided to only have one soulmate, why not just print out why can't you just print out and copy paste that everyone has one soulmate? Why do you need to have to manually write down one as their soulmate, right? Doesn't make any sense. And I really love how they're able to add that into the manga, into this anime rather. Again, the expansion of lore is amazing and I really love it. Now, the moment, let's move on to the moment when Rentaro confessed to both Hakari and Karane. Chef's kiss. That's all I can really say. I keep, singing my praises to this manga and to the moments that it delivers. Bibiri Animations did a really amazing job with this anime, and I'm so happy that, it all came out perfectly, Now, other things that I want to mention as well, that there's this is the type of anime, so to speak, right, where there's a sort of floater text approach, right? For lack of a better term, that's what I call it. But those moments where there would be these sort of pop-up texts, right, from a character whenever they are, thinking about something, but the characters themselves do not say it, right? They have this sort of this piece of text right beside them to indicate a thought that they're having. So there's that. I really love that, that little approach in a way, right? And they also have these text boxes, like this one for instance, that give context to a certain moment. And yeah, art, again, fam, this entire anime is amazing. Art style wise, it's really close to Nozawa Sensei's style. I really love it. Akane Yano-san, who is the anime's character designer, and yeah, anime character designer and such, right, did an amazing job with all of the characters, the visuals, and creating the character, drawing the character of the anime. They're really amazing. I really love the details to it, from their figures to their eyes, and the way also that they have a unique distinction between one another, right? The humor, family, the timing of the jokes and the voice acting is all well delivered, and they blend together so perfectly. I accidentally bit my tongue. And yeah, they showed us the ending in this first episode, the ending theme song, right? And the animation is so freaking adorable. I love it. And what's also another good news, they've also released the ending theme song in the Emotion Label channel, I believe, right? And I'll put the link down below for you to check it out. So yeah, please do. And yeah, they haven't shown the opening theme song yet, right? But perhaps my hypothesis for this, right, is because they really want, first they either really wanted to give this first episode the time that it needs to tell the first chapter story, because the first chapter of this manga is quite long, right? And it really fits well into this one episode, and they were able to really achieve the way that they've told, or they've crammed, not crammed, but the way that they've translated, they've adapted rather the first chapter into this first episode is amazing. they've all got the information that we needed into the first episode. And on top of that, they've even added other elements as well, and other visuals to keep up with it, or to blend well with it. I really love the anime's storyboarding, right? Shout out to all the Hyakuno anime staff. You're amazing at your jobs, fam. It's absolutely amazing. I really love it. Now, another reason why I think that they've skipped the opening on this first episode as well is perhaps they wanted to, save the opening on the next episode, which is the episode 2, because, yes, they don't want to give it away, right? But yes, they've viewers probably already saw the girlfriends from the promos, but for first-time viewers, I think it's also as good to have the approach to skip the opening theme song for now, right? Because it allows the viewers to get an idea on the story first, right? They don't want to bombard them with, hey, this girl is gonna be there, this girl is gonna be there, right? Sure, it's nice to have expectations and to anticipate for the girlfriends, right? But I guess, yeah, telling this story to really focus on the matter at hand, or the conflict at hand rather, on why Rentaro is doing all of this, I think that's really, important. So yeah, without relying, it gives the new viewers a hook to be hooked on the manga without relying on the anime openings. That nature of an anime opening to have context clues on what the anime is going to be about, or on what scenes they might expect from the anime and such, right? Those types of anime opening theme songs rather, that would have scenes taken from the story, right, and they put it in the opening theme song to show what's going to happen next. So I think that could be one reason. And of course, disclaimer, I do not know the visual or what the anime theme song animation looks like yet, right? But I'm just speculating right here. It may or may not give away some scenes from the manga or from the story. Who knows, right? It could be purely visual. I'm not so sure. But either way, I'm so excited to see the opening theme song as well, and to listen to it as well, fam. Overall, I'm still a bit shaking here and there as to how happy I am. I can't wait for the next episode, and yeah, I'm just so happy. Thank you for listening, fam. Take care.